In the 21st century, lithium has emerged as one of the most strategically important resources on the planet. Often called white gold, lithium is the critical component in batteries that power electric vehicles, smartphones, laptops, and renewable energy storage systems. As the world shifts away from fossil fuels, lithium has become the backbone of the global energy transition, making it highly coveted by nations and corporations alike. Control over lithium reserves is no longer a matter of economic advantage. It is a matter of geopolitical power. The largest lithium deposits are concentrated in a few countries, such as Australia, Chile, Argentina, and China. This limited distribution creates intense competition as industrialized nations race to secure supply chains that will fuel their technological and energy ambitions. Access to lithium determines who can dominate electric vehicle markets, who can control renewable energy storage, and ultimately who can lead in the emerging clean energy economy. The stakes are high. Countries with lithium-rich territories face pressure from multinational corporations and foreign governments seeking favorable mining agreements or strategic partnerships. In some regions, this has led to political tension, social unrest, and environmental concerns as extraction operations threaten ecosystems and local communities. The lithium race mirrors historical resource conflicts over oil, gold, or diamonds, but with a modern twist. This commodity fuels not just economies, but the technological and military capabilities of nations. Lithium is central to the future of energy independence, technological supremacy, and global influence. Those who control it wield unprecedented leverage in shaping the 21st century world, making lithium more than just a mineral. It is the foundation of modern power. In today's world, data is no longer just information. It has become a commodity, a weapon, and a source of global power. Every click, search, purchase, and social media interaction generates data that can be collected, analyzed, and monetized. Corporations and governments alike have realized that controlling data means controlling behavior, markets, and even political outcomes, making it one of the most valuable resources of the 21st century. Major tech companies, from Google to Facebook to Amazon, have built empires on the collection and analysis of personal and societal data. This information allows them to predict trends, influence consumer choices, and even shape public opinion. Governments leverage this data for surveillance, intelligence, and policymaking, blurring the line between commerce and state power. In essence, data has become the new battlefield where power is won without armies or borders. The stakes are global. Nations that control data infrastructure, cloud systems, and communication networks gain strategic advantages over competitors. Data can dictate economic dominance, influence elections, and determine international alliances. For example, countries with advanced AI and analytics capabilities can manipulate markets, optimize military strategies, or exert pressure on rivals using information as leverage. Data wars also carry ethical and societal consequences. Privacy becomes a luxury, personal freedoms are often compromised, and economic inequality grows as those with access to the most data consolidate power. The control of data is not just a corporate strategy. It is a strategic tool for shaping nations and rewriting the rules of global influence. In this new era, information is more than knowledge. It is currency, weaponry, and a key to dominance. Whoever controls the flow of data controls the modern world, making data one of the most contested resources of our time. Water, once considered an abundant and freely accessible resource, has become one of the most contested commodities in the 21st century. Across the globe, freshwater scarcity is intensifying due to climate change, population growth, pollution, and overextraction. This scarcity has transformed water into a strategic asset, sparking conflicts between nations, corporations, and communities over who controls access and distribution. Countries with abundant freshwater supplies hold significant geopolitical power. Control over rivers, lakes, and underground aquifers can determine agricultural output, industrial productivity, and even national survival. Nations downstream or without access often find themselves dependent on foreign policies, trade agreements, or corporate concessions to secure the water they need. This dynamic has created a modern version of resource-driven conflict, reminiscent of historical battles over oil or gold, but with a far more immediate human impact. Corporations also play a critical role in the global water crisis. Private companies manage dams, water utilities, and bottling operations, sometimes prioritizing profit over equitable distribution. In regions where governments lack infrastructure or resources, these companies often become the de facto providers of life-sustaining water, giving them enormous leverage over populations. The privatization of water raises ethical questions about access, ownership, and the balance between human rights and corporate interests. The battle for water is not just a regional issue, it is global. Nations are forming alliances, investing in water technologies, and even developing policies to secure future supplies, while corporations invest in extraction, purification, and distribution systems. Whoever controls water in the coming decades will control food production, industry, and the stability of entire regions. In short, water has become far more than a natural resource. It is a critical commodity that defines power, influence, and survival in the modern world. The struggle for water is shaping geopolitics, economies, and human civilization itself. Energy has always been at the heart of global power, but in the 21st century, the stakes are higher and the landscape more complex. Oil, natural gas, and coal continue to drive economies, yet renewable energy sources, batteries, and nuclear power are reshaping international influence. Control over energy, its production, distribution, and technology, is no longer just about fueling economies. It is about shaping geopolitics, alliances, and even conflicts. Nations rich in energy resources have long used them as leverage. Middle Eastern oil producers, Russian gas exporters, and African mineral-rich countries have demonstrated how energy can dictate trade agreements, military strategies, and diplomatic relations. Today, this influence is amplified by the global demand for clean energy, rare minerals like lithium, and cutting-edge technology for energy storage and transmission. Countries that dominate these new energy sectors are positioning themselves as the future power brokers of the world. Corporations, too, are major players. Energy companies, from traditional oil giants to renewable innovators, control supply chains that affect prices, accessibility, and infrastructure development. These corporations often operate across borders, giving them influence over multiple nations simultaneously. In many cases, governments rely on corporate expertise to manage energy transitions, further intertwining corporate and state power. The intersection of energy and geopolitics also drives conflicts and alliances. Countries form strategic partnerships to secure energy security, while disputes over pipelines, shipping routes, and mineral deposits can escalate into political or even military confrontations. Access to energy determines industrial output, national security, and economic stability. Ultimately, energy is more than a resource, it is a tool of power. Nations and corporations that control it can shape global trends, dictate economic policies, and influence political outcomes. In the modern world, energy wars are not fought with armies alone. They are fought with access, technology, and control over the lifeblood of civilization. The modern global landscape is being shaped not by armies or borders, but by control over essential commodities: lithium, data, water, and energy. These resources are increasingly interconnected, forming a web of influence that determines who holds economic, technological, and political power. Nations and corporations that dominate these commodities can shape the world without firing a single shot, creating a new form of modern empire. Lithium powers the energy transition, fueling electric vehicles and renewable storage systems. Data drives decisions, predicts trends, and manipulates economies. Water is essential for agriculture, industry, and survival, making it a strategic asset. Energy continues to dictate geopolitical alignments and global stability. Control over these resources means control over life, commerce, and influence itself. The convergence of these commodities has sparked competition that is both global and highly strategic. Countries and corporations invest heavily to secure supply chains, develop technological dominance, and influence policies that protect their interests. Those who fail to gain control risk dependency, economic marginalization, or political vulnerability. This new era is a departure from traditional power dynamics. Instead of conventional warfare or territorial conquest, the battles of the 21st century are fought over access, ownership, and infrastructure. The winners shape global markets, influence policy, and determine the trajectory of human civilization. In essence, the modern world order is being rewritten by commodities. Lithium, data, water, and energy are the currencies of power, and those who control them will determine the future of nations, economies, and societies alike. This is the age of the new commodity wars, where control over essential resources is the ultimate form of dominance.